Ferrari's Resurgence and many more. See what's waiting for us in Montreal GP. The F1 caravan is moving to Canada after a 2-year break due to the COVID pandemic. Now, the Gilles-Villeneuve circuit is waiting for the reformed cars to provide a much needed adrenaline boost to the F1 fans in Canada. It was a long wait, and finally we'll be able to witness some excitement in Montreal. However, there are key points that we need to pay attention to regarding the performance of certain constructors. In this video, we're going to cover some important notes that should be paid attention to for the Montreal GP, as things aren't looking good for one of the main rivals for both drivers and constructors championships, Ferrari. Apart from them, it seems like the Silver Arrows have lots of homework in a 1-week deadline, mostly to fix their porpoising or bottoming on their cars so that they will be able to have a legitimate shot at the higher places on the podium. Stick with us until the end of this video, but before we start explaining what you should pay attention to in the next race, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. That way, we'll be able to deliver more quality content on a daily basis. Now, back to work. One point that will be very interesting to watch is Ferrari and their performance. The Italian constructors are now on the back foot for quite a long time, as they haven't been able to transform their good performance from Friday and Saturday to Sunday when it counts the most. Leclerc hasn't been able to convert his pole positions to wins in 4 races this season, and the difference between him and both Red Bull drivers is concerningly growing. On top of that, he's being hunted by Russell from behind, as he is just 19 points behind the Monegasque as of Baku GP. So the Ferrari driver needs to be at the top of his game if he wants to fight the momentum that he is currently shifted towards Red Bull. Moreover, he will now need the support of his teammate Sainz more than ever, as he will also unable to finish the race in Baku due to hydraulic issues. Why does Ferrari have a good chance to win the race in Montreal? Well, for starters, the team has a very fast car. This has been proven at every race so far, especially in the qualifying session. What they cannot get on top of are their reliability issues. However, Red Bull has also suffered reliability issues early in the season, and look where they are now in both drivers and constructors championships. Plus, Leclerc didn't win in Monaco due to miscalculated tactics, not engine failure. This only goes to show that if Ferrari has done their homework and manages to pull out reliable machinery in Montreal, then only sky's the limit for the Italian team. However, the teams that run Ferrari engines such as Haas and Alfa Romeo have raised their concerns about the reliability of the engines. More specifically, Magnussen and Zhou have started complaining about what's happening with their cars and that they feel very different from what they are used to at the beginning of the season. Zhou said that this is happening too many times in the season, as he failed to finish a race 3 times this season due to engine issues. Magnussen and Schumacher have raised concerns about the pace of their car, as Schumacher said that the pace was just not there. So it will be interesting to watch not just Ferrari, but the constructors that they sell their engines to in Montreal. Montreal is also a race in which drivers could prove their worth for the next season. Some of the drivers' names are louder than others when it comes to 2023 driving positions. One of these drivers is Pierre Gasly, as it's become clear that Red Bull has chosen Perez over him for the next 2 years. Gasly wasn't mad at this decision, as he called it logical due to the results that the Mexican was able to put in Red Bull. However, Gasly's performance at position 5 in Baku has come at a very good time, as he is gaining momentum to possibly shift to another team from the next season. If he manages to deliver again in Montreal, that would mean that his confidence is striking back, and we're going to see the Gasly we're used to seeing last year when he was overperforming the AlphaTauri. Although Gasly said that he wants to be part of Red Bull's family next year, he'll discuss his opportunities with Helmut Marko about a possible new challenge in other teams such as McLaren or Alpine. His move in Alpine is more certain, because the French team will possibly put their reserve driver Oscar Piastri in Williams in the seat of Latifi. However, there is the opportunity for Gasly to join McLaren if the team was to decide that they don't want to deal with Ricciardo's underperformance anymore. So, Montreal will be a crucial track for Gasly, as he will look to deliver yet another solid performance. Mercedes has finished well in Baku GP, although Hamilton was suffering from back soreness due to the extensive bouncing. However, they cannot always prey on DNF situations from Ferrari or Red Bull, so they need to do something to fix the bouncing of their cars just in time for Montreal. For things to be more confusing for Mercedes, their car didn't really suffer from porpoising as the main reason for the bouncing, but from bottoming out instead. Bottoming out is when the rear part of the car hits the ground, which is different compared to porpoising because then the whole car hits the ground and it bounces vividly. Things have gone to an extent in which Wolff has had to defend his drivers and urged yet again the technical team to fix the W13 and bring it back on track. He has had some nasty words to say for the car, as he labelled it as a shitbox to drive in Baku. The porpoising as a problem seems to bother many drivers, and the problem has gotten to the point where other drivers are urging to FIA, primarily through the GP Drivers Association President George Russell, to lift the rules and therefore enable the teams to work around different ones. However, Horner was the loudest one against this rule, as he said that some teams, like Red Bull, have fixed this problem and it would be very unfair and punishable to them if FIA decides to lift the rules. Plus, he added that if a car porpoises as lot, the team can always lift the ride and save itself from the problem on the cost of the maximum speed. This is very important for Montreal because although the track has a decent amount of low speed corners, it also has long straight towards the end of the lap, which could lead to similar issues as in Baku. This is where Mercedes cars will be mostly watched, as the porpoising level should be the highest at this point. As we mentioned Alpine earlier in the video, we should say that they are one team that you need to pay attention to in Montreal. They were extremely fast in Baku, and although they didn't manage to score higher than position 7, Alonso has shown immense potential to be faster in the upcoming tracks. The Spaniard finished position 7 with Ocon completing the table of point scorers at position 10, gaining additional 7 points for the team in the Constructors' Championship. The Alpine has showed a great straight line speed in Baku, and once they were in DRS range, overtaking was really easy for them. Ocon had to defend against much more experienced drivers such as Vettel and Hamilton, thus his defending tryouts were unsuccessful. However, it seems like tracks with low downforce setups tend to be more pleasant for the Alpine, and it's up to us to wait and see how the team will perform in the track that is very similar to Baku when it comes to the straight line speed. So, what should we expect from the track itself? As we mentioned earlier, it has low speed corners and one long main straight that should trigger the porpoising of the cars that suffer from it the most. The precision of the drivers will be tested mostly because they will be challenged to carry the speed through the chicanes onto straights. This is one factor in which Mercedes have suffered a lot, especially in the high speed corners where they weren't able to get rid of the porpoising at these sectors either. However, the track itself is very tricky, as its edges are largely defined by concrete walls. This means that the space for mistakes will be minimal, and they are punished frequently by over-pushing drivers. Where should we expect overtakes in Montreal? Usually, turn 1 gives us the best chances to see overtakes apart from the main straight. The track itself has 2 DRS zones. There are 70 laps around it and the track is 4.361 kilometers long. We all recall the fight between Vettel and Hamilton in 2019, and although the race ended in a controversial manner, we hope that more fair racing will be seen this year. So, what do you think that will happen at Montreal GP? Will Red Bull continue with their dominance and put yet another nail in the coffin for Ferrari so early in the season? Or will the Tifosi be able to bounce back from their bad luck and deliver yet another dominant performance like in Bahrain? At last, do you think that Mercedes will be able to fix the bottoming on their car, as they will have to run again with the same low downforce setup? Let us know in the comments down below.